everybody, KC0VI Tom here, and along with Little Bell. What do you think? You've been a little twerp tonight. Yeah. It's the first day of this whole extended heat wave for the next, 7 to 10 days. They thought it was going to be in the 90s. We got a couple days coming up, and Thursday, Friday, it's going to be dancing in the 100 degrees, they're saying. Could be 100, 102, 103. Most of 103 they figured, but hope they're wrong. What I want to talk a little bit about here is when you're camping with a Class C or a Class A, and we got Pooh back here in our new little home. When you get your campground, your campsite, I don't know why I always say campground. When you get your campsite always set up, you sit down and have a nice beverage, you realize, I forgot to get ketchup, propane, who knows, steak, you know. And an A and a C, it's kind of hard to throw everything back in or some of the stuff back in, you know, run it into town, get what you want, then come back. And if you're not in a reserve site or, you know, first come first serve site, you could lose the chance of losing that site. Yeah, and you know, I'm not going to pull a small car because that's all I need around here is another car. And right, you'd like another car, but she's getting antsy. So what we got here is we just came in today. This is a Jasion electric bike. We're going to pop it open, and they claim it is very easy to put together and very easy to ride. We'll see this. It's been a while since I've been on a bicycle. Trying to think of the last time I was on it, I think was when we had that tandem bike out for a couple of years. That would have been hilarious, you know, the videos, but that didn't happen. But before that, it was probably high school. Or maybe when I was living in the cities, I had a bicycle I rode once or twice to work just to see if I could do it. So let's pop this sucker open. I know you want to go Smith. Yeah. Let's pop this open, see how easy it is put together, and we'll talk more about it. As you can see, the box is quite large for the bicycle to fit inside there. There's plenty of strapping around it to protect the box. I'm kind of glad of that. The way the box opened up, you actually open up the other end, the top side, keep it vertically, then slide the bike up out of it. As I pulled the bike out, you can see there's plenty of styrofoam and wrapping and tie wraps all around it. You can also notice how bashed up the other side of the box was. So it took a couple of good hits there in shipping. For a company that's priding themselves on being green, you'd think they would use reusable tie wraps or wire strips. Instead of cutting them off like I'm doing here, you could just hit that little clip and slide them out, let the customer reuse them for other things, or to hold stuff on the bike. That's one thing I noticed. But I'm going through here, taking off all the protective foam, styrofoam, and clipping the tie wraps, making sure not to scratch the paint or cut any of the wires. A lot of the stuff I was already pre-wired, and it's just a matter of getting all the packing material off the bike so you can start assembly. We got it here in our handy dandy box. I assume user manual for an EB7, some hand tools, two pedals. Try not to slam that too hard down the table where the mic is. I assume this is the power supply for the charger. Yep. Power supply / charger. Okay. I'm going to stop recording, run in, get a garbage sack, clean up my mess, and we'll start putting it together. Okay, going through the instructions here real quick. The usual. Congratulations, you bought one of the best bikes around. Yeah, best product. You know, we know that is. Kind of weird. They start on the handlebar and work our way down, put on the kick stand, but my kick stand's already on. I'll check that and make sure. Then you put the front tire on and do all the other stuff. When I bought this, they had a special on front basket, rear basket on sale, along with the bike was on sale, and I don't see them here. I assume they'll probably be a day or two from now on another delivery. I may send a quick email off to Jason Bicycle Company and see what's going on. One thing I would recommend before you start assembling your bike is lay down a blanket or some type of tarp, protect the finish of the bike. After I got done assembling this, I noticed there was some minor scratches here and there on the frame and on the rear basket just from the concrete patio here. But I have to go through and you try to figure out how to install the handlebars. You know, the top piece slides up and the top of the handlebar slides down on the adjustment point. There's plenty of adjustment on the handlebar and on the seat.
for people with long legs like myself or short-legged people. Here I'm trying to figure out how to get the front tire on and the fender. Little tip here is when you're assembling it, just kind of keep the screws in, loosen, don't tighten anything up till you get it all done. That'll give you plenty of room to play, moving the fenders and the baskets around. Then go ahead and tighten everything down. The other thing I'd recommend is before you start assembling is to pull the battery. The battery's in that center section of the frame of the bike. That is quite heavy. If you could slide that out and set off to the side, that'll make it a lot easier to assemble the bike. One thing that I didn't see anywhere on Jason's website, that would really make it assembly a lot easier. I suppose if you had some type of bicycle carrier or mount to hang that up on it so you could work, at standing level instead of like I'm doing, sitting on the ground and going around and getting everything put together. All in all, it took about 20-25 minutes of figuring out what it is. It would have gone a little faster, but at the time I filmed this, it was like 6 o'clock at night and it was still 92 degrees, and the humidity here in North Iowa was running the 80% range, so it was quite uncomfortable, and the sweat was running down my forehead into the glasses. The rear basket or rear shelf on the back was held on by 4 screws, and it was just a matter of getting those in. Like it says, keep them loose, and once you got it all lined up, go ahead and tighten everything down. Unfortunately, the camera about this point started to overheat, and we lost the rest of the video of assembling it. But assembly, like it says, take your time. Make sure you got a blanket down the ground so you don't scuff up the frame or any of the paintwork on it. Take your time. Again, just put everything in there finger tight or loosely. Then when you get all done, go around and just tighten everything up. And it is a fairly easy process. I am not very mechanically inclined, and I was able to get it done in under a half hour.
Okay, I told you it was hot out here. I'm all sweaty. The camera over here didn't crash, so we got to figure out something different on the GoPro here. Got it all assembled. Took it for a little quick test ride where the camera was cooling down. It went together fairly fine. I had a little problems with the rear rack, getting it lined up in all the holes. Little hint: just start the screws till you get all 4 in, then go ahead and tighten them down. The front fender and the light went on okay. On my little test spin, everything worked good. It's going to be a little difficult due to the fact you got different pedal assist and along with a different gear drive. And there's a couple times that got away from me due to the fact that the pedal assist I had cranked up too high and the thing was trying to do the assist and I was trying to slow down. So let's go for another quick spin. Get the handlebars here situated. Power switch is here. Lights up the menu. We're all set to go. Up here you got your pedal assist. 1, you're pretty much pedaling on your own, and all the way up to 5, it's full throttle on the electric motor, it seems like. Over here is your gear selector. You go up and down depending on what you want. I think I'm going to run around in 6 till I get used to it. This side you got your little in the headlight. I'll switch hands here so I get my hands on the throttle. What's the old saying? Hands on throttle, hand on stick. And the electric motor is very peppy, and I just peeled the toenail off this seat. Nope, it's still there. There we go. Get off the sidewalk here. As you can see, it's not a bad little deal, and I'm not pedaling. This is just all electric. And like I said, it's been a while since I rode a bike, so my balance isn't that good. Incoming traffic. We'll go up this little hill. There's the incline. Turn around up top, come back down, put it away. Looks like some grain miller staff go out on break, lunchtime. This is a fairly steep hill, and we're doing 16, 17 miles an hour. You can really tell it when you're walking the dog. Little girl, she likes to go this way because there's a couple dogs that are on leashes up here on cables. They can only go so far out. She likes to pee in their front yard just to let them know who's boss. We'll get up here, get both hands on the handlebar. We'll spin around and head back. Both brakes are ran by two separate hand controls. The right hand brake is the rear and the left is front. Got to remember that. A little different from my motorcycling days, where motorcyclists are usually right is the front and there's a foot pedal for brake, and the left was clutch. So cracker wide open, go down this hill, 17, 18, 19, 20. Cotton, we can't take much more. 22, 21.8, come on, brake. Probably end up falling on my rear end here. A little road rash. We'll throttle down a little bit. Why some braking? Man, we'll never make this turn. Go ahead with throttle up. Then she goes boom. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not fun one-handed. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And again, with pedal assist turned up and you start pedaling, it's going to kick in the motor. And if you're not ready for it, it's going to be an eye-opener. Not a bad little deal. They're on sale. By the time you watch this, they'll probably be off, you might look. I did not get this free. I did pay for it. Went through the normal channels because that's how I like to do stuff. That way. Another fault. Okay. Headlight switch is on its own. The key is really strange. It's a little hard to work. The key's here, and the key also unlocks the battery and the pivot point, so you can slide the battery out. This is a foldable bike, so you can fit in small compartments into your car and back to the camper or in the camper. I was going to have one of those bike racks I'm going to put on the back, but the key, you can lock it and pull it out, and there's another position 3 where you the key stays in. Or, no, the key comes out and you can actually open this and slide the battery. This whole center section of the bike is battery, lithium battery, 48 volts. It is not a bad, like I said, it's a bad little deal. Keep your eye open if they put it on sale, even if you buy it outright. Like, so we'll be using this to do runs when I forget something or just around the campground. And pretty much what I got to do, I got to lose about 10 pounds or my doctor's going to scream at me at my appointment here coming up this fall. Being off on vacation and indulging in the naughties of being an adult retired person, I gained about 15 pounds in the 3 weeks. I had 1 week I was kind of on light duty at work, just getting stuff done, and the 2 weeks of off, and yeah, it adds up quick. Really didn't help much when the oldest daughter was making anything I wanted, it seemed like, in the kitchen for supper. I mean, ate real good. On that, I'm gonna get my mess cleaned up, go inside, have something cool to drink. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're not quite done yet. FedEx truck showed up here the next day, and the baskets came, front basket. Again, same paint job as the frame. That's why I went with black, so it all blend in. The rear basket. So it kind of makes it, looks more like a, you know, off-road bike, I guess you'd say. Not bad. They were kind of hard to put on for somebody who was not mechanically challenged. There was absolutely no instructions, nothing in the box. It was just the crate inside a cardboard box, and that was it. The front was pretty easy. There was 4 screw embosses, took those off, put those Allen heads in, that went in. The rear basket was a little more difficult because there was no bosses or anything like that. You had 4 nuts and bolts and 2 pieces of metal, so you had to kind of figure out, get that in there and go from there. There is a video on their website, I'll put a link in the description, about how to assemble it. It's not up to date. Like, I watched it, then it came out to put this together, and the lightings, the front light and the back light, were different on my bike than what was in the video. Some stuff was already assembled. Earlier we talked about how the kickstand was already on in the video, but was not on. And the handlebars were disassembled differently, sorry about that, in the video. And it's like that for the instructions that came with the bike. They weren't quite up to speed with this updates on this bike. Nothing really wrong about it. You just had to sit and look at it, try a couple of deals, put it together, take it apart, put it back together, and you know, learn by trial and error. The Couple of items I'm looking for. They do sell a set of rear view mirrors, which at first I didn't throw them in the original order because I didn't think that was necessary. But after been out a couple times, they would be real handy. Check out who's behind you if you're going to change lanes, stuff like that. Looking for some type of cell phone handlebar mount, so I can put the cell phone up there so it's accessible, not really for mapping or anything like that. And I think it would be kind of nice to be able to put the B1 RF finder up there. That way I can use the 2 meter or the 440 repeaters when I'm out bicycling. I'd be, what would they call it, bicycles? Anyway, my mind's going elsewhere. But I just want to let you guys know it's all here. It all finally came. Again, I'll do a more detailed review in a month or so, probably in the fall before I put it away. Kind of curious how it's going to be in the wintertime with these fat tires. Like I said, if you come across a used one, I'd snag it. If keep an eye on their website for any more sales or anything like that. Even if you want to pay the full price, this is the EB7 2.0. It is a nice little bike. It's a lot of fun to ride. I wasn't expecting to be that much fun. And right now we're towards the end of this heat wave, so I'll be able to actually start pedaling. Right now I'm just getting the hang of it with the motor. I will throw in the specs as soon as I figure out how to steal them off their webpage. It is not, like I said, it's something you need to seriously look at. It's a little cheaper than some of the other ones out there. A little bit more than some of the others, you know, they're all over the market. The reason I went with the baskets is if I have to manhandle it, get it on or off the trailer, in and out of the house, at least I got a better place to grab onto it. It's a little more leverage for me. Instead of trying to bend over and grab the frame, I can reach down and grab the basket and pull it up. So now I say, I'm going inside, have an adult beverage, see what the twins are doing tonight, and 7-3 everybody. Be sure to tell your friends, neighbors, other hams, subscribe, hit that bell to get notification when new videos come out, add comments below. 7-3 everybody.